NASCAR is a team sport like many other professional sporting leagues around the world. Teams in NASCAR are unique in that they sometimes have multiple teams under their umbrella competing against each other. Imagine if the Yankees fielded two MLB teams, or the Packers had two NFL teams. In the sport's 76-year history, we have seen many teams come and go. Some are new to the scene, and others have been around for over 50 years. Hi, I'm your host Matt, and this is NASCAR Team History, presented by Dogleg Media. In this series, we look to tell the stories of the different teams in our sport's history. We will explore a wide range of topics in respect to the team's history, when they entered NASCAR, their drivers, numbers, and overall legacy. We will also include memorable moments from you, the viewer. Today we explore Chip Ganassi Racing, a once great team in NASCAR that is now gone from the sport entirely. But with that intro out of the way, let's dive into some more NASCAR team history. Chip Ganassi Racing has a somewhat complicated history, one that many will even argue when it started. For this installment's number dive, we will cover the full-time numbers that ran under the official Chip Ganassi Racing banner. However, the team would inherit the history of another team, that team being Felix Sabates' team, going by various names like Sabco Racing and Team Sabco. This team was formed in 1989, when Sabates would bring Kyle Petty in-house to drive the 42 machine. Petty would be with the team from 1989 until 1996. During this time, he would get 6 of his 8 career wins. These would also be the only 6 wins for Team Sabco before their acquisition from Ganassi. Chip Ganassi, before buying 80% of Sabco, would be a decorated IndyCar owner. As a matter of fact, he would win the Indy 500 the year before his entry into NASCAR. Ganassi would purchase Sabco in 2001, forming the new Chip Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates. During their time in the sport, they would achieve 21 total victories, or 27 if you count the Sabco wins. However, even with all these wins, they were never able to win a championship. Ganassi would merge with Dale Earnhardt Incorporated in 2009 and would run under the Earnhardt Ganassi Racing banner from 2009 until 2013. Chip Ganassi Racing would sell their operation to Trackhouse Racing at the conclusion of the 2021 season, ending the team's 32-year history in the sport. Trackhouse would adopt the Ganassi No. 1 car and their driver Ross Chastain from the team, and that is all that remains from the last Ganassi season. It is still sort of weird not having Chip in the sport. Although the team had ups and downs in their time, they were a fun team to watch. Now that we have covered a brief history of the team, let's do a deep dive into the 4 main numbers that made up Chip Ganassi Racing from 2001 until their closure in 2021. Alright, this first one's going to be super quick because it was only around for one season. While the team did have 4 main numbers, they also had one other full-time number that ran in their inaugural season. The 01 would run in the 2001 season with Jason Leffler. This was Leffler's rookie season, and man was it a tough one. He would fail to qualify for 4 races that season, earning only 1 top 10, that being at Homestead. He would finish the season 37th in the final standings. Ganassi would then retire the 01 after this lone season. And yeah, that's about it for this one, but do stay tuned because this number is going to come back during the honorable mentions portion later on. Alright, now we get into the main 4 numbers, and we start with the other number that would be there for Ganassi's first season as a team owner. It would be the 40. Sterling Marlin would stay with the team after the acquisition by Chip. Marlin would have a career year in 2001, winning twice with wins at Michigan and Charlotte. He would finish an impressive 3rd in the final standings that season. 2002 would also start off well for the 40 team and Sterling. Winning twice in the first 5 races, all was looking up for the team. Sterling would be injured in a scary crash at Kansas, suffering a cracked vertebrae in his back, causing him to miss the remaining 7 races of that season. He had the points lead with 9 races remaining, and was 4th in the standings at the time of the crash. We will talk about his impressive replacement driver after we finish the Sterling story. 2003 wasn't close to the level of success the team experienced the previous 2 seasons, with Marlin failing to post a single top 5, but he would come oh so close to winning at Bristol until he was wrecked by eventual winner Kurt Busch. Marlin still has one of the best quotes ever after this race, saying, "What a boneheaded move. I guess Spencer didn't punch him hard enough," talking about the scrap that Busch and Jimmy Spencer had earlier in the season. 2004 and 2005 would be 2 more winless seasons for Sterling, with it being announced in 2005 that he would be replaced by David Stremme in 2006 for the ride. Sterling would make 2 more starts in the Ganassi 40 in 2008, finishing 34th at Darlington and 31st at Charlotte at the Coke 600. Sterling would bring the iconic Silver Bullet to victory lane 4 times and came oh so close to a title with it in 2001 and 2002. And now let's get to Sterling Marlin's replacement in 2002. It was Jamie McMurray, another Ganassi driver we will talk about a little bit later on in this one. Jamie Mack would make 6 starts in the 40, all filling in for an injured Marlin. In just his second ever start, Jamie Mack would stun the sport and win at Charlotte. This is still considered one of the biggest upsets in the sport's history, and it showed the potential that Jamie Mack had. Again, more on McMurray a little bit later on. The final full-time driver for the 40 would be David Stremme. He would pilot the 40 in 2006 and 2007 full-time. This was an absolutely abysmal time for the number. In those 2 seasons, Stremme failed to post a single top 5 and only recorded 3 top 10s, all coming in 2007. I wish I could say the end of the Silver Bullet era would have been a successful one, but it was far from it. 2008 would be the final season of the Ganassi 40 car. It would be split between a handful of drivers, with one being the previously mentioned Sterling Marlin. Dario Franchitti, David Stremme, Kenny Schrader, Jeremy Mayfield, and Brian Clausen all also made starts in the number that season, but no notable runs to show for it. The 40 was a longtime Sabco number that also earned Chip Ganassi his first win as an owner. The way it died wasn't ideal, but that's racing. Y'all know I'm saving the best 2 for last, so let's get through the 41 next. It would make its debut with Chip Ganassi Racing in 2002 with Jimmy Spencer. This one definitely didn't get out to a hot start, as Spencer would DNQ at that season's Daytona 500. In 34 races that season, Spencer would record 2 top 5s, 6 top 10s, finishing 27th in the point standings. Even though Spencer only spent this lone season in the number, I remember Spencer for this number for some reason. Maybe it was all the NASCAR Thunder 2003 I played. That's probably it. After Spencer would leave the number, Casey Mears would join the team and take over the driving duties of the 41. His time in it was better than Spencer's, but not by much. He would run it from 2003 until 2005, and in those 3 seasons, he would record 4 top 5s and 18 top 10s. His best points finish would be 22nd, happening in both 2003 and 2004. Mears in the 41 seems like a fever dream to me. I guess I didn't really see him until he was in the Hendrick 25 car. And finally, there's Reed Sorensen. Sorensen would be the final full-time driver of the 41 for Ganassi. He would pilot it from 2006 until the end of the 2008 season. His stats are similar to Mears in almost every single way. In his 3 seasons, he would post 5 top 5s, 13 top 10s, and his best points finish was also 22nd. The 41 seemed to suffer from mediocrity, and still does today. And with the downfall of Stewart Haas, there's a good chance the 41 doesn't even run in 2025. Alright, we move to the 42, and this one is by far the most successful number in the team's history, mostly because of one driver. The 42 had a rich history with Sabco before Ganassi's involvement as well. When Chip bought the team in 2001, the 42 would sit dormant during that first season. Jimmy Spencer would make 1 lone attempt in the 42 in 2002, but would DNQ with it at Watkins Glen. If anyone in the comments can tell me why Spencer would run the 42 in 2002 when he was with the 41, please let me know down below. I wasn't able to figure it out. In 2003, Ganassi would place the rookie sensation Jamie McMurray in the 42 full-time. McMurray was coming off one of the best fill-in stints in NASCAR history and earned a full-time gig with the team because of it. Jamie Mack would pilot the 42 for Ganassi from 2003 to 2005. He would be the star of the Ganassi stable during this time. He would record 18 top 5s, 46 top 10s, and would have a best points finish of 11th. He would narrowly miss the chase for the Cup field in 2004 and 2005, finishing 11th and 12th in points those seasons. McMurray would leave Ganassi for Roush in 2006, but would return to the team later, and we will discuss that second stint shortly. After Jamie Mack left the 42, Casey Mears would move from the 41 to the 42 for 1 season in 2006. Mears would perform much better in this season compared to his time with the 41. He would record 2 top 5s, with both being runner-up finishes at Daytona and Kansas. He would also record 6 top 10s, finishing 14th in points. This performance was enough to land Mears a top-tier ride at Hendrick Motorsports, driving the incredible 25 car in 2007, where he would eventually claim his only career victory. 2007 would see the 42 host a global motorsports superstar, with Juan Pablo Montoya trying his hand at stock car racing. Montoya would spend 7 years in the 42, from 2007 until 2013. He would also get the Ganassi 42 its first win, winning in his rookie season at Sonoma. During his tenure with the team, he would record 2 wins, 24 top 5s, and 59 top 10s. He would also be the first driver in Ganassi team history to make the NASCAR postseason. In 2009, the team's first season with Chevrolet. This would also be the team's first year in their merger with Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. I genuinely don't think we as NASCAR fans truly appreciated Montoya's time in the sport. Man, what a cool time that was, and I didn't even realize it. After Montoya's departure in 2013, Ganassi would welcome their biggest superstar to the team, Kyle Larson. The 2021 Series champion would drive for Ganassi from 2014 until 2020, and in that time, he made Ganassi look like a championship contending team. Young Money would win 6 times, recording 56 top 5s, 101 top 10s, with a best points finish of 6th in 2019. Larson would make the NASCAR playoffs for 4 consecutive seasons from 2016 to 2019, and was poised to make that 5 consecutive in 2020. Until, well, we all know what happened. If you don't know, just look up Monza Madness in 2020. I won't discuss it in full detail here, but Larson would be suspended from NASCAR and released from Ganassi in 2020 after using a racial slur in an iRacing event. I still wonder if Ganassi would still be around in the Cup Series if Larson had never been released. Let me know your thoughts down below. Someone had to finish the 2020 season in the 42 after Larson's suspension, and that driver would be Series veteran and 2003 champion Matt Kenseth. While he didn't fare very well in this stint, he did come so close to victory at Indianapolis that season, finishing 2nd. He would finish the season with that lone top 5 and 2 additional top 10s. In the team's final season of 2021, young up-and-comer Ross Chastain would get the keys to the 42 ride. Honestly, for a young, inexperienced driver, Chastain showed signs of greatness that we would later see in his time with Trackhouse. Chastain would record 3 top 5s and 8 top 10s, finishing the season 20th in points. Chastain would end up at Trackhouse after they would purchase the entire Chip Ganassi operation at the end of the 2021 season. And well, the rest was history. Let's get to this final number in the Chip Ganassi story, one that came to them from the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated merger. So the final number in this one is the 1. It came to the team after they would merge with Dale Earnhardt Incorporated in 2009. Martin Truex Jr. would come with the number for the first season of the new Earnhardt Ganassi Racing team. He would struggle in his lone season, recording 1 top 5, 5 top 10s, and finishing 23rd in the final standings. Truex would leave the newly formed team after that season to join Michael Waltrip Racing, allowing for a reunion that was greatly needed. Jamie McMurray would come back to the place he got his career started in 2010, and what a reunion it would be. In his first race back, he would win the biggest race in the sport that season, the Daytona 500. The success wouldn't end there, as he would then win another crown jewel at Indianapolis, winning that season's Brickyard 400. And to top it off, he would then win at Charlotte, the same place he would get his first victory that fall. McMurray would finish his full-time career at Ganassi in the 1 car, piloting it from 2010 until his retirement in 2018, recording 4 wins, 33 top 5s, 88 top 10s, and a best points finish of 12th in 2017. He also won the All-Star race in 2014, adding to his list of accolades collected with the team. All in all, Jamie Mack and Chip Ganassi were a perfect combination, and it was always cool to see him wheel the 1 car to victory lane. After McMurray would hang it up, they would replace him with veteran driver and 2004 Series champion Kurt Busch. The elder Busch brother continued to prove that he could win in just about any car he was put in. He would pilot the one from 2019 until the team ceased operation at the end of the 2021 season. He would collect one win in each of his 3 seasons with the team, coming at Kentucky, his hometown of Las Vegas, and Atlanta. We all remember the Kentucky win, in that epic battle with his brother for the win. He also won the final race on the old Atlanta configuration before it was turned into a super speedway style track. Busch would go to 23-11 after the closure of Ganassi, but it was awesome that he was the last driver to win for Chip Ganassi Racing. Obviously, we had to end this video with the final winner in the organization's history. Now let's get to some honorable mentions before we wrap this one up. Jason True and Farkle mentioned Juan Pablo Montoya almost winning at Indy in 2009. Montoya would dominate the day, leading 116 laps and had it in the bag until the last pit stop with 26 laps remaining. NASCAR would penalize Montoya for speeding on pit road, ending his day. He swore he didn't speed. After the race, NASCAR would reveal that Montoya would go 0.06 miles per hour over pit road speed. That is an absolutely heartbreaking way to lose a race, especially for Montoya. Indianapolis meant a lot to him. Being an Indy 500 winner, he would have become the only driver in history to win the Indy 500 and the Brickyard 400. Imagine having that achievement under your belt. And Silver Thunder wanted me to mention the other driver of the 01 car for Chip Ganassi Racing. They mentioned Dorsey Schroeder's lone start in the number back in 2001. Schroeder was a sports car driver who would make 9 total starts in the Cup Series. This start with Ganassi in 2001 would be the final start of his career, finishing 25th at Sonoma. Great mentions, guys. Thanks so much. And that'll do it for Chip Ganassi Racing. This one was fun to revisit. It's sad not having them around anymore, but it was cool to go back and look at their time in the sport. As always, I'm prone to forgetting drivers and moments. Let me know anything I may have missed for Ganassi down below. Next time we look at one of the rising powerhouses of the current landscape, Front Row Motorsports. It will be awesome to see just how they have risen to the ranks of a consistent threat in the sport. If you liked the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. It helps a ton and I definitely appreciate it. And did you know that 77% of my viewers aren't subscribed, but they are returning viewers? If you keep coming back and you love watching the videos, but you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? I also want to apologize for me not uploading as much as I normally should or do. My job and my family have really been keeping me super busy. I mean, I was at a racetrack for 4 straight weekends there on a stretch. I promise I'm going to get back into a full swing of things, and I should be bringing you guys content at least a couple times a month, and I really appreciate you guys for sticking by me. As always, I want to thank the Dogleg team for all of their incredible work. Darkseed, Dice, Nino, Elite, Gamer, Jafer, you guys make the community and the channel a better place. We also have a Discord server. Find the invite in the About section of the channel or in the description below. When I'm not posting, and I know I haven't been a whole lot, I'm still super active in the Discord. Please come over there and check us out. We have over 230 people. We play games, we talk about the races, we share our collections, and much more. You don't want to miss it. But that'll do it for us here at Dogleg Media. I'm Matt, your host, and you've been watching NASCAR Team History. I'll see you next time.